For what it's worth, I believe him. He said he'd be gone 4 days. He's not gone to any cops. This is about him wanting to see his wife, plain and simple.
Hey guys, Kiwi here. In this video, I'll be breaking down and analyzing the new sneak peek for the next episode of Better Call Saul, the Season 4 finale, Season 4, Episode 10, Winner. With that being said, major warning of spoilers for everything in the show up to Episode 409, and let's jump right into this. Alright, so the sneak peek features Mike getting into a vehicle with Gus and showing him the note that Werner left. Gus seems very unimpressed as Mike hands him the letter, and I don't blame him. Although Gus is known for keeping his composure, he's probably raging inside as he doesn't want the cover of his operation getting blown all because one person managed to escape somehow. Now, as Gus is reading the letter, Mike says that for what it's worth, he believes him. And as a side note, Mike's word is surprisingly worth a lot to Gus as he knows how straightforward of a person Mike is, and he really seems to trust Mike's judgment. Mike goes on to say that this is about Werner seeing his wife and that he'll be gone for only 4 days and that he's not going to police. That being said, is Mike using his full head to assess the situation, or is he letting his friendship with Werner cloud his decision making? We've already seen Mike cover for Werner in that whole bar situation, but Werner didn't seem to take the whole warning seriously enough. What will Gus have to say in regards to all of this? Considering Mike seems to really vouch for Werner so much, Gus will most likely give him a chance to track him down and bring him back peacefully, but we all know that Gus doesn't want any loose ends getting away from him, and that the ultimate decision will most likely result in Werner being murdered. Mike obviously doesn't want this, so he decides to create a team of grunts to help him track down Werner, as we saw in the promo trailer. Mike says that he left on foot, which gives them a fighting chance. Is Mike actually going to try and track him down before he can get to the airport in the first place? Considering Gus has made all of his locations out in the middle of nowhere, it'll probably take Werner a while to walk down that long flat road back to civilization, so will Mike be able to catch up with him before he makes it into town, even though Werner left the night before? Werner is a very naive person for the situation he's in, but I can't believe he's actually made this big of a mistake. Is he seriously thinking that he'll just be able to go to the local airport, fly over to Germany for a few days, fly back, and have no repercussion? I get that Werner wants to take control of his own situation, but I still can't believe that he actually thinks that they'll just be okay with letting him go back to work after all of this. It's not like he just left and didn't show up to work the next day. He broke out, evading the security cameras, cutting through the locks to the outside. He should have realized that if he broke out like this, that it would be the equivalent of him quitting his job, but even worse, as it comes with the consequences of Mike and Gus being on the lookout for him, trying to track him down. He'd have to change his name, he'd have to change where he lives. Like, how the heck does he think that this is a good idea? At this point, Werner needs to see the vacuum cleaner guy. Like, what the heck? Werner should have known that he'd get into big trouble for doing this, but is his friendship with Mike that much motivation for him to do this? Werner maybe figures that Mike will understand, considering he was married himself and they've opened up to each other about that, and maybe he thinks that Mike will cover for him again and back him up, ultimately causing things to be okay in the long run. That being said, considering how much of a blabbermouth Werner is with those guys at the bar, for example, I doubt that Werner has the smarts to talk himself out of certain situations on his own without raising suspicion. I could easily see Werner slipping up and saying something that he's not supposed to, either to someone at the airport or even just a random passerby or a cab driver, who knows. They've given Werner a ton of screen time with Mike all season, and they wouldn't do that without a good reason. They've built up Mike's friendship with him in order to show how Mike is being too easy on him due to the sympathy that he's built up from their friendship. Mike cares about this guy, and he would hate to see someone like him get put in the ground just because of a stupid mistake like this. That being said, if Mike doesn't manage to track Werner down and drag him back to the warehouse, Mike may be forced to kill him somehow so that he doesn't create a bigger problem in the long run. Throughout the entirety of Better Call Saul, Mike has gone out of his way to not pull the trigger in any given situation. He turns down hitman jobs from Caldera in the first season when he's getting his gun wound looked at, and even goes out of his way to get Tuco sent to jail in season 2 instead of just killing him. Even though he only got half the pay, it took twice the effort, and Mike got his face beat up in the process and he had to go through police and stuff. Mike feels incredibly bad whenever someone innocent gets killed as a result of illegal activities, such as Anita's husband, the story about how he went hiking in the hills and just disappeared. We can probably assume that he walked into some cartel business and they killed him as a result of that because he was a witness, or the innocent civilian that was killed off screen at the end of season 2 due to coming across and helping the truck driver that Mike left alive after robbing Hector's truck. This showed Mike that although he wants to leave people alive, it's sometimes the best decision to kill someone because other innocent people may end up getting hurt down the road as a result of it. In order to watch the evolution of Mike become the hardened killer we all know from Breaking Bad, will we witness Mike kill Werner when given no other option? It will definitely take a hit on Mike's moral struggle, but he may eventually be put in a situation where deep down he knows that it's the best option he can take even though it hurts himself to do it. Mike knows that Werner has a loving wife waiting for him back home and that his heart is just aching to see her. Although it's just because of their working situation, Werner has shared many pleasant moments with Mike throughout the season, but Mike may have to put all of that aside in order to make a hard decision, just like how the synopsis for the episode teases. So, will Mike be put in a situation where he needs to kill Werner? If so, will he go through with it? Will he let Werner go, causing a bunch of troubles? I could maybe see Mike letting his emotions get the best of him, causing him to let Werner go, but then maybe him and Gus get completely screwed over to the point that Mike will make sure not to make the same mistake ever again. Either way, regardless of what way Mike actually learns this lesson, if he kills Werner or lets him go and then there's repercussions because of it, I could see this causing Mike to believe in the whole no half measures mentality leading into season 5 along with Breaking Bad in general, but what do you guys think? I'm convinced that Werner's story is true and that he really does miss his wife, but you guys have some pretty interesting theories as well. Some people theorize that either Werner isn't actually missing his wife, or maybe that he doesn't even have a wife at all and that he's just saying all this to try and get out of his current situation. Although Werner may be uncomfortable about living in that warehouse under constant supervision for so long, I don't really see him as a master manipulator conning Mike in similar to fashion to the way that Slip and Jimmy cons people. Werner seems like a genuinely honest and sincere person who's just a little bit too naive for his own good. Some people consider it unrealistic that someone as smart as Werner would also do something so stupid, but Werner is the type of person who's, how do I say this, he has book smarts, right? He's good at his job, but he doesn't really have any street smarts. Ever since we first saw him introduced at the beginning of the season when he was checking out the place, he was old-fashioned, he wasn't overconfident. They chose him because of this, and it has since been shown to be his true character. I don't think that Werner is some secretive mastermind with an ulterior motive. I feel like he has been honest to Mike and that he's honestly just homesick. As I said earlier, Werner doesn't seem like the type of person to manipulate someone else in order to get someone to do what he wants or talk himself out of something. I don't think he's even able to smoothly talk himself out of something if he tried. He's a very straightforward person and a very simple man. After watching his panic attack from going down to fix the wires of the explosion, I believe that this isn't an act and that he's really showing his true colors this entire time, but what do you guys think? Is Werner really just a naive German, or has he been manipulating his friendship with Mike to take advantage of him, even to the point that I'm apparently falling for it as well? I'd appreciate a like on the video if you've enjoyed anything I've said today, as it really helps me out more than you can imagine. Feel free to subscribe for more Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad content in the near future, and if you'd like to take that extra step in helping support the channel, consider checking out my Patreon as well. Again, apologies for the lack of videos this week, but I really appreciate the strong amount of support that you guys have shown on the Better Call Saul videos, and I'm going to continue doing them once the season is over. I have a few post-season discussion videos that I want to do, review, and then I'm going to be doing episode reviews, although I'm not sure if I want to go through all of season 4 first, or if I want to start at season 1 and just go through the entirety of the whole show. Let me know what you guys think, but yeah, that's pretty much it for the video, guys. Follow me on Twitter, link to that and my Patreon in the description. I'm fairly active on Twitter even when I'm not posting videos, like when I'm sick or something, and I'm always retweeting everything I can involving both Better Call Saul and The Walking Dead. And by the way, Walking Dead is tonight, so yeah, I'm gonna be doing videos on that too. Be on the lookout. But anyways, guys, as always, I thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.